All right, so like I said, my lead story today is going to be this this text messaging thing. I cannot, for the life of me, understand how common sense thinking people, and it's a lot of people that are on the liberty side of things, would define what happened here if they knew everything that happened as a thought crime. This is not a thought crime. I would say, like, if your words cause somebody to kill themselves in this manner, if you said publicly, I think all stupid people should kill themselves, and some stupid person went and killed themselves, some random individual that you don't know and had no connection with whatsoever, happened to kill themselves the next day, and they said, well, it must have been him. That would be a thought crime, and I think that would be a ridiculous thing, and I don't think, even as unjust as a lot of the criminal justice system is today, I don't think anybody would be prosecuted for that at all. I think I'd be under the jail by now if, like, just saying something randomly that causes somebody that's an idiot to do it, you know, would constitute criminal activity when there's no intent, right? Now, as I said, I believe that if you think, in this case, this woman is being convicted of a thought crime, you're ignorant or you're an idiot. And I know those are strong words, but I want to kind of give you the actual text messages. This is Carter, who is the girl, and Roy, who is the young man who killed himself. This is, at first, she actually urges him to get help. This June 19th, 2014. Carter, but the mental hospital would help you. I know you don't think it would, but I'm telling you, if you give them a chance, they can save your life. So I think this is actually more important for a reason that most people are skipping over. They're like, well, there was some intent. This shows that she knows the difference between right and wrong. And when you see how this shifts, you'll understand why a jury would convict her. Then she says, part of me wants you to try something and fail just so you can go get help. Roy says, it doesn't help, trust me. Carter says, so what are you going to do then? Keep being all talk and no action, and every day go through saying how badly you want to kill yourself, or are you going to try to get better? Roy, I can't get better. I already made my decision. Okay, I don't see anything there that I would say is something that this lady should go to jail for. At this point, not a really good person. He's starting to see it come out, but hey, there's no malice. There's no forethought. There's no real intent, but you're starting to see it with, I kind of wish you would try and fail just so they'll make you get help. Well, how about instead of that, you just go, hey, this guy's talking about killing himself. That's all you had to do. But no. July 23rd, 2014, Carter again discourages Roy from harming himself. Carter, how do you want to harm yourself? Something I don't know yet. Please don't. Roy, I hate myself. I always hate myself. I'm never gonna view myself as good, and I'm so far behind. Carter, what is harming yourself gonna do? Nothing. It will make it worse. Roy, make my pain go away, just like you said. Carter, it will make the pain go away temporarily, but when you're done, you'll just regret it and feel even worse. Again, demonstrating she knows right from wrong. Yeah? Okay. July 7, 2014. Roy, if you were in my position, honestly, what would you do? Carter, I would get help. That's just me, though. When I have a serious problem like that, my first instinct is to get help because I know I can't do it on my own. Later that same day, Carter, well, there's more ways to make CO2. Google ways to make it. Do you get that? So now she goes from, you should get help to, no, there's more ways to make CO2. Google ways to make CO2. Okay? Roy says, oh my God. Carter says, what? Roy says, portable generator. That's it. Okay. At this point, I see a shitty person doing shitty things, but I'm not yet willing to say that I would convict her if he ends up killing himself. I think she would certainly be liable for it in some sort of civil matter at this point, not notifying. I'm not sure exactly where I would fall down with the legal status when it comes to criminal law here, okay? Now, it starts to go way downhill from here. July 8th, Carter, so are you sure you don't want to kill yourself tonight? Roy, what do you mean, am I sure? Carter, like, are you definitely not doing it tonight? Roy, I don't know yet. I'll let you know. Carter, because I'll stay up with you if you want to do it tonight. Roy says another day wouldn't hurt. Carter says, you can't keep pushing it off, though. That's all you keep doing. Okay. At this point, I think we already see malice aforethought. I think we see intent for her to talk this kid into actually killing himself. At this point, I'm already on board with some sort of criminal penalty here. But let's keep going. July 11, 2014, Carter, well, in my opinion, I think you should do the generator because I don't know much about the pump, and with the generator, you can't fail. July 4 through 12, 2014, here's a series of messages sent over a span of 9 days. Carter, quote, you're gonna have to prove me wrong because I just don't think you really want this. You keep pushing it off for another night and say you'll do it, but you never do. Carter, see, and this is all in caps, see, that's what I mean. You keep pushing it off. Then back to regular text. You just said you were going to do it tonight, and now you're saying eventually. Carter, but I bet you're going to be like, oh, it didn't work because I didn't tape the tube right or something like that. I bet you're going to say an excuse like that. Carter, do you have a generator yet? Roy, not yet. Carter, well, when are you getting it in all caps? Carter, you better not be bullshitting me and saying you're going to do this and then purposefully get caught. July 11 through and 12, 2014. Roy, I'm just too sensitive. I want my family to know there was nothing they could do. I'm entrapped in my own thoughts. Roy, like, no, I would be happy if they had no guilt about it because I have a bad feeling that this is going to create a lot of depression between my parents and sisters. Roy, I'm overthinking everything. I gotta stop it and just do it. Carter says, right, you gotta put yourself in this position, right? This guy is dumping. Like, I'm worried about my family. He's giving himself reasons not to do it. This is what she says. I think your parents know you're in a really bad place. I'm not saying they want you to do it, but I honestly feel like they can accept it. They know there's nothing they can do. They've tried helping. Everyone's tried. But there's a point that comes where there isn't anything anyone can do to save you, not even yourself. And you've hit that point. And I think your parents know you've hit that point. You said your mom saw a suicide thing on your computer and she didn't say anything. I think she knows it's on your mind and she's prepared for it. Okay, you're a sick bitch. Okay, this is a point where the anarchist comes out in me, right? And I'm going to go off script of just defining this within the legal system for just a second. At this point, if somebody puts a chain around this girl's neck and a cinder block on it and throws her in the ocean, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not saying anybody should do it, but I am saying I'm not going to cry about it. I'm like, oh, she's dead. Okay, good. That's one less shitty person in the world. Okay. Carter. Everyone will be sad for a while, but they'll get over it and move on. They won't be in depression. I won't let it happen. They know how sad you are, and they know that you're doing this to be happy. And I think they will understand and accept it. They will always carry you in their hearts. Next conversation, Roy. I don't want to hurt anyone in the process, though. I mean, when they open the door, all the carbon monoxide is going to come out. They can't see it or smell it, whoever opens the door. Carter says, they will see the generator and know you died of CO. Don't worry about it, just do it, okay? Roy says, next conversation, hey, can you do me a favor? Carter says, yes, of course. Roy, just be there for my family. Carter, Conrad, of course I will be there for your family. I will help them as much as I can to get through this. I'll tell them about how amazing their son and brother truly was. Roy, I don't know, I'm freaking out again. Roy, I'm overthinking. Carter, I thought you wanted to do this. The time is right and you're ready. You just need to do it. You can't keep living this way. You just need to do it like you did last time and not think about it. And just do it, babe. You can't keep doing this every day. Roy, I do want to, but like I'm freaking out for my family, I guess. I don't know. Carter, Conrad, I told you I'll take care of them. Everyone will take care of them and make sure they won't be alone and people will help get them through it. We talked about this. They will be okay and accept it. People who commit suicide don't think this much. They just do it. Okay. July 12th, 2014. In these exchanges on the day before his body was found, Roy expresses more hesitation about his plan. Carter, so I guess you aren't going to do it then. All that for nothing. Carter, I'm just confused like you. We're so ready and determined. Roy says, I am gonna eventually. I really don't know what I'm waiting for, but I have everything lined up. Carter, no you're not, Conrad. Last night was it. You just keep pushing it off. And you say you'll do it, but you never do. It was gonna be that way if you don't take action. It's always gonna be that way if you don't take action. Carter says, you're just making it harder on yourself by putting it off. You just have to do it. Carter says, do you want to do it now? Roy says, it's too late. Roy, I don't know. It's already light outside. Roy, I'm going to go back to sleep. Love you. I'll text you tomorrow. Carter, no, it's probably the best time now because everyone's sleeping. Just go somewhere in your truck and no one's really out right now because it's an awkward time. Carter, if you don't do it now, you're never going to do it. Carter, and you say you'll do it tomorrow, but you probably won't. Carter, you just need to do it, Conrad, or I'm going to get you help. I want to hold right there for a second. If you don't kill yourself, I'm going to tell somebody that you're thinking about killing yourself. So this guy's probably, that's like his biggest worry is someone forcing him to get help. She just used that as a weapon, as far as I'm concerned. Let me go back to this. You can't keep doing this every day, Carter says. Roy, okay, I'm going to do it today. Carter, do you promise? Roy, I promise, babe. I have to now. Carter, like right now? Roy, where do I go? Carter, and you can't break a promise and just go in a quiet parking lot or something. Now, that's where I have this article linked in the show notes for you guys, so you can read all this for yourself. I can't find the final text messages, but I know what they are. I can't find them online so I can read them verbatim, but he gets in the car, he gets this generator going and runs a hose into his truck, closes it all up, and he starts to feel like he's falling out. He texts her and says he's freaking out. He says, I got out of the truck. I got out of the truck. She tells him what? Get back in. Get back in. I say to you, if you think that's thought crime, you're an idiot. Because you no longer can claim ignorance. If you didn't know how much there was, that's how much there was. This isn't like this girl sent him a couple text messages saying, I think you should kill yourself. This was a guy calling out for help. And she's like, here's how to do it. Here's how to find the information. Oh, you started doing it and you're going to stop now? Oh, don't let me call the police or anything. Just get back in the truck. Now, what we can debate, what kind of crime is it? Again, under the current criminal justice system, because that's what we have. We don't have an anarchy. We don't have a stateless society. We have a republic in the form of an oligarchy, right? With laws and rules that were going to be followed by the court system. So what was she convicted of? She was convicted of involuntary manslaughter. I find this to be not sufficient. I don't think this is sufficient enough for the crime. Involuntary manslaughter is defined as the crime of killing another human being unlawfully but unintentionally. You did something illegal that caused the death, but you didn't intend for anybody to die. That's involuntary manslaughter. An example would be, you drive really, really fast, someone walks out in front of you, you're unable to stop your vehicle in time, and since you hit them and run them over. Looking at the specifics of the case, if you had been driving the speed limit, or even moderately over it, the person would probably still be alive. However, since you were doing 100 miles an hour, it was physically impossible for you to stop, so you didn't intend to kill them. But your reckless behavior caused their death. That is not what happened here. I think the minimum crime that was committed here would be voluntary manslaughter. That is the crime of killing another person unlawfully in circumstances that do not amount to murder, for example, without premeditation. Wait a minute, we're back to murder, right? But let me read the rest of the law, because if I'm going to cite law, I have to cite it properly. Or as a result of mitigating circumstances such as diminished responsibility. This is why I think you can make a case that it's not murder, it would be voluntary manslaughter. Because I think in the end, and this is what everybody's saying that's trying to defend this idiot bitch, right? In the end, he made the final decision, but she led him there, right? And when you say shit like, well, it's a slippery slope, hold on. That's what we call a fallacy. The slippery slope fallacy is a fallacy. It is a textbook fallacy. This is not, again, this isn't some girl that wrote a blog post and said, I wish this guy would kill himself. I don't even think, so if somebody does that and you kill yourself, I don't think it's their fault. This was wanton, willful manipulation of a hurting person to the point where they actually killed themselves with a personal relationship. And let me tell you something. It was more than text messages. We just don't know the rest of it. Let me put on top of this. Her defense was never, I didn't think he would really do it, and we were fighting or something like that, or I didn't actually want him to do it. Her defense was, doing this is not murder. Doing this is not a crime. It's okay to do this. And let me end with this on this segment. If you think this woman should not be in prison for what she's done, then you better get a big-ass sign and start walking around that says, Free Charlie Manson. Charlie Manson never killed anybody, didn't put a hand on anybody. He told other people to do it, and they did. He manipulated them into taking lives of others. Right? So, if it's a slippery slope, the slope ain't slipped much since the 1960s to 2017, has it? This, again, is specific. This is an absolute specific thing that was done with, I believe, malice aforethought. I believe she wanted him to do it. Now, you might make the case that there's something mentally wrong with her. I agree. But if we're going to be legal in our intent here, right? The condition where someone is basically sent to a mental ward versus a prison in our legal system is not were they mentally ill. It was, were they able to discern right from wrong? Were they able to discern it? Well, I think her own text messages show that she was able to discern right from wrong because she knew what the right solution was. But in the end, she used the threat of the right solution to push him the last bit over the edge. If you don't, I will tell people. Bitch, you should have told people. This cannot be acceptable in society. Now here's, to me, the ultimate travesty. Not only did she only actually get 15 months. 15 months. You know, it's like 15 to 25 or something, like 15 to 25 months, not years, right? 15 to 25 months. She's not even in prison right now. She's not even in jail. The judge said there will be an appeal. It could overturn your case, and cases can be overturned, but jail time cannot. So she's free until her appeal is completed in the state of Massachusetts. And he said, once it's done in Massachusetts, if it doesn't get overturned, you go back. You're going. You're not sitting it out while it goes to the Supreme Court or something like that. But within the Massachusetts court system, she's free until such time as the appeals court rules on this. Now, what the hell other person is afforded this? Well, Mr. Spirko, even though you've been convicted, I know you'll be appealing, and should we find out in your appeal that we've wrongfully convicted you, we can't give you back the time you've served, so you just don't have to go to jail or prison until your appeal's done. I've never even heard of this before. And I find this to be a travesty of justice. A travesty of justice. There's no justice here. And again, those of you that say, well, you're supposed to be an anarchist, Jack, you're supposed to be a voluntarist. You don't. Listen, I'm going to put it to you this way. This is how I view the court system and the prison system. If you're somebody like, let's say, a child molester, I would happily throw you into a wood chipper. But I can't do that. They won't let me. So if the court system and the prison system is what I have available to deal with you with right now, that's where you should go. Now, what do I think this woman should really be serving? Probably at least 5 to 10. 5 to 10, and she should be getting mental counseling as well, because I do believe there's a mental screw loose in this woman. But there's mental screw looses in a lot of people that do a lot of vicious things. I think this was voluntary manslaughter by the strict definition of the words voluntary manslaughter under our legal code, which is the crime of killing another person unlawfully in circumstances that do not amount to murder, for example, without premeditation or as a result of mitigating circumstances such as diminished responsibility. I will definitely accept that there is a diminished responsibility because in the end, he had to choose to do it. But she knew exactly what she was doing. This is not thought crime. Again, you can debate what level of crime it is, or you can even try to debate that it's not a crime, but to call it thought crime is freaking bullshit.